Welcome to the Underground Warriors podcast, where we explore human potential and learn from everyday heroes who have risen to life's challenges, conquered their fear, and are impacting the world in positive ways. I'm your host, Jon Christian. All right, hello, and welcome to the Underground Warriors podcast, where we explore journeys, mindset, and creativity breakthroughs of extraordinary individuals like my good friend Ori here, who's pushing limits of what's possible around the world. I'm Jon Christian, and today we have an amazing guest, good friend, amazing human being, and a sculptor, storyteller, adventurer, and someone who lives boldly in his art and has created art for 4,000 days straight, which is absolutely insane. Four living legends like Alice Cooper, Snoop Dogg, William Shatner, and has literally landed his artwork on the moon, which is super cool. And so we're going to go dive back into Ori's story, the origins of the Ori story, and learn some amazing things today. So Ori, welcome to the Underground Warriors podcast. What's up?
Thank you. What an honor to be here. Hey, quick question. Are you live streaming? Because I'm looking on your Facebook and I'm not seeing anything because I was going to share with my peeps because I care. Sharing is caring. Hello, world, if we are, in fact, streaming.
I believe we are.
Okay.
Check the stream and make sure it's out there.
I just went to the bathroom. That stream was good, so...
I love it. Cool, man.
How's your stream?
My stream's been pretty good. I'm going on 47 now, so, still going strong.
All right. 48. 47. That's so cute. I remember when I was 47. Oh, man. Those are the days. I had to walk uphill both ways through dinosaurs and snow. We didn't invent shoes yet. I'm 48.
Yeah. I think we met, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years? 3 years? I don't know.
What?
It's been a few years, right? Since we met. It's been a while.
Oh, it's been, didn't we meet like last time?
Well, I think it's the first time we met in Florida.
Oh, jeez. Despite that you can't spell memories without Ori, my memory is not my strongest feature. I'm good with like coming up with stuff that no one else has ever seen or ever thought of. I can't remember horrible punchlines and puns and, lots of crazy Ori stories, which the name of the new podcast I'll be launching soon to tell my crazy Ori stories. But
I think that was when we came together for the first time and the stars aligned and we're like, holy crap, this is awesome. Well,
every time though the stars have aligned and we gotten to see each other, it was awesome. I mean, that's what we were talking about before. Why does not everybody just record the entire pre-podcast conversation? Because you always hear, I wish we recorded what we were saying before the show went on, right? The time when you told me to come out to an event in New York, and normally I'm like, I didn't have time, didn't have the money, but I didn't even ask, oh, sure, well, what is it? I was like, okay. And I just showed up and you picked me up and then, we went and got a hotel and then I met Aaron and then I met Dan and, all this other adventures. But it's always an adventure. I mean, I jumped into the water in New Jersey when it was cold. And because, if you're going to go and we ate delicious stuff and, et cetera, et cetera. So, your show, you talk.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all about allowing yourself to be open to possibility, and we've talked a lot over the years about, pursuing your dreams and never giving up and not letting even yourself get in the way of what your meant to be's were. And I think your story is a lot about that, going back to when you first started to kind of fall in love with art and expression and stories and living life as fully as possible. Knowing you for as long as I have, like, you embody this joy, this compassion, this like, nothing can stop me from doing the things that I desire to do, and I'm going to be me, regardless. And I think a lot of people are afraid to step into that. I think you embody that, like, overcoming that fear to be who you are non-apologetically, which is super cool.
I got a little confession. I mean, I already told you, but I guess I'm gonna confess to the public audience that's watching my stream. Perps. No, so it's today, actually, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate it. Today is my 1 month of believing in myself. I'm 48. I turned 48 in December 16th. And yeah, I finally can see what everyone's been telling me all these years. And it's okay. It's all right to actually be good at something. Like we live in a society that makes you kind of like not believe in that. And so I have always exuded this, oriness to me, like people actually use me as an adjective, noun, and verb. It's great. I'm probably a pronoun. No, okay, nah, there's enough pronouns out there, but yeah, I'm just big, lovable, goofy, genius, mad scientists. There's like a lot of things. There's like people tell a lot of great stories. I'm memorable because you never know what the fuck I'm going to. Let's say fuck on your show. I said twice, so I mean, like, cool. Fucking hey. No, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people would ask, like, how do you shed your like limiting beliefs and yourself? It was I had a breakup with a very dear friend of mine. It wasn't particularly painful. It was just that we both had said over the last year I've been shedding the things that have been weighing me down, and our conversations have become that. That's why I asked for space, because they went from I want to I feel like I have to. For about half a second, I was like, "Oh no, I wish you had told me," because I would have. I'm like, no, actually, no, the conversation. You kind of been a drag for last year. Not the response she was looking for, but what I said, I'm like, no, you're right. I'm like, look, we're just vibrating at different frequencies. It's fine. It's okay to move on. Like, look, people come into our lives for seasons and reasons, right? It's up to us to figure out what it is. Certain organizations got a rule called the law of discovery. There. You meet this person, you've been selected to meet each other, but you don't know why. Go figure it out. And funny enough, I've literally come to this conclusion recently. Feel free to believe it for yourself or not, but that my entire life has been architected by my future self. Like, every single person placed in my path is so perfect that like now it's beyond coincidence, beyond any kind of probability. It's just like I got no choice but to believe it, which is cool because I know badass motherfuckers like you, and like, so it's pretty easy to see, because like you're literally like urging me to like, hey, let's get you on the moon too. I'm like, well, yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. My heart was there. And I don't know if did I tell you I just won the Halloween costume at a billionaire's thing. So I get to go to fly to the edge of space in a fighter jet. I mean, like, I'm a cartoon character. Like, my life, like, who does that happen to? Like, I didn't even know what I was competing for. That's the whole point. Like, my life sounds like a comic book. Like, that doesn't just happen. Like, I mean, but yes, it does. So when you get these opportunities that make you feel alive, I'm trying to preempt some questions here. I'm not trying to hog all your microphone time. I'm so sorry. But I think I'm on a point on a tangent here, right? Like, how does this happen? How does someone go about being unapologetic and stuff? Because look, it sucks. You're gonna lose people, dude. My family was making me cry as recent as like December. Sorry, Dad, for throwing you under the bus, but when you go and like rant for 3 hours telling your kid that he's worthless and has never amounted to anything, and you should just get a job because you'll do better. It's like, I'm 48. Come on, like I just let him get out of the way. And we'll just have a good visit. I'll be done with it, right? Get out of the system. But he's a very enthusiastic man.
I think I,
So
I think I got the how you've done it. You're everywhere and nowhere and present at the same time.
yeah, basically, well, I was the thing that I was thinking of is like I base my life decisions on my coincidentiometer. I just made that up, but it sounds like a good thing. I should get a .com for that, and make an app or something. But seriously, like I look at how bizarre something sounds, and if it sounds kind of crazy, I'm like, yeah, let's go. For 6 years, in 2006, five, and there's four kinds of people in this world. Those that are good at math and those that aren't. And so this one year I decided to just like my apartment, my landlord wanted to raise the rent. And I was like, I never even go down to the beach unless someone's like visiting or I'm doing like a bikini shoot on the beach, like then at least I don't have to like schlep my gear out at 4 a.m. Just buzz me when you're here at 6 and I'll go down to the beach. But so I'm like, didn't feel like going back to Miami and definitely didn't feel like moving back in with my folks. So gave away my stuff, got my car, and went on a road trip completely based on whose couch I'm crashing on next in order to figure out where I'm going to renew my lease. How I can see the world through the locals' eyes and that kind of stuff. And then I can decide. Well, after 6 years of couch surfing Ori, and we met while I was on that journey, and what a journey. And I'm still nomadic. Fuck. I mean, like, I'm in Vegas right now. I've been trying to get it for the. I'm like, yeah, it's starting to get warm. I don't know. I think I might go to New Hampshire because my buddy left his car in San Diego. But then, I just met these people yesterday that it is so fun working together. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll move to Florida or, the Austin again because one of them's there. Programmer. Who knows? Go where the wind blows, guy. Like, and that's what's driving my parents nuts. My dad wasn't saying that to be a dick. I am just triggering the shit out of him because when he was a little kid, his dad left him with my dad no money, and like they lived with her parents, and so he didn't really have toys. He got like one comic book every month, and that's all he had. And so he loves a good bargain. Like, you want to make that man happy, like have a waiter screw up so bad that he doesn't have to leave a tip, and he maybe even gets to do a chargeback on his credit card, right? Like he was like, it's a generational trauma shit, right? And he's got his own failures and regrets. He's trying to protect me from that. I get it. Wasn't fun, but still, whatever. And also, by the way, here's another thing to be unapologetic. Like, forgive, like, okay, like, yeah, the guy was a dick for a day. That's his choices, right? I pointed out, by the way, that is your opinion, because I happen to think, well, it has made quite an impact and has mattered and amounted to something, because my advice and my courses have changed the course of many people's lives. I'm still getting letters from people who bought my WordPress course in like 2011, and thank you. We have like an agency now and all this stuff. Like, I have touched the lives of many people. I just met people like just like last week. They already want me to officiate their wedding. I don't even have certification to, but there's websites that you could get that on. So who cares? But it's like, all right, why not? Like, getting invited to a wedding is big enough, but like, I'm kind of fun when I'm me, like when I believe in me. I'm 30 days into it, so it's still a learning curve. This thing, it's still like you still like stall out on the gear shift change sometimes. Still got that new Ori smell to it, but it's fun. But like, go where the coincidences are, right? So when you say like, yeah, can we get you to the moon? Let's do okay. Well, maybe we'll get you to a space station first. What? That's a thing? Hell yeah! Like, that sounds bizarre. That's Seth Godin has got that book Purple Cow, right? For anyone, if you see cows all the time, they don't really stand out. But if you saw a purple one, you'd stop and be like, what the? Because it's unique. So when you say that, like, that's in alignment with everything in my body just says yes, right? And so, hey, Ori, want to go to Budapest to drive tanks? Absolutely. Well, how could that not be awesome? It just, right? And so that's how I make my decisions. Like, and by the way, I should give a disclaimer. Like, you could probably see the little banner across the thing. Ori is not a certified life advisor. Proceed at your own discretion, caution. Like, maybe unsafe. All right, go you. Your show.
Well, yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 things that came up that I was thinking as you're sharing, and all relatable.
That's what she said.
Going back to when you were couch surfing, I remember going to an online underground seminar, Yannick Silver, and Yannick was a big influence on me. And I think you might have been on stage or we might have met like outside of it. And I was like, man, Ori, like one day me and him are going to hang out. I don't know when, but someday. And then years later, we bumped into each other and got a chance to, hang out, get to know each other. And 2 souls, adventurous souls, nomadic souls on this journey, bumping into each other. And I think that's what this journey is all about is, you step into your purpose or your desire, whatever it is, and people come and they find each other, and you encourage each other. And I think a lot of people on this journey sometimes feel alone and isolated in the process, especially when family members don't understand you and you're breaking out of societal norms. And a lot of people are living in their comfort zone. And there's a good book called The Comfort Crisis. Not enough people are going through these misogis and challenges to get them outside their comfort zone. And that's what I'm super passionate about. And you've been able to do that. And those moments, they probably, for me, it was when Brad Gerlach said yes to mentor me he was a childhood surfing hero, #1 surfer in the world at one point. And I think everybody goes through it as they're pursuing these wild dreams, that one reality shift that kind of breaks your current reality. And you're like, holy crap, this is completely possible. And then another thing happens and you're like, wow. And then you look back and all of a sudden you're like, how did I get here? Like, how did this even happen? And like, that's just the scratching of the surface, even when all these wild things happen. And I think that's what we connect on so well, is like, there's all these wild things that have happened that we would have never have thought based on, maybe low self-esteem or like confidence or this or that growing up. And, I think that also sometimes becomes a superpower, because, being authentic to yourself, once you're there and you're aligned, there's all sorts of different doors that open up and people that come into your life. And, the trajectory that you're on this year now, basically falling in love with yourself. I think a lot of people don't love themselves, right? And
oh, look at this guy. Oh, he's so fucking hot. Oh my God, you just let me go, dude. I can't breathe. I can't.
Right?
Bipolar schizophrenia is roses are red, violets are blue. I'm schizophrenic, and so am I. What? No. 8 out of 5 schizophrenics don't even realize that there's a problem. No. Go.
Yeah.
Yes. The dude. There's, by the way, I was like literally having to bite my lips together because there's so much that I agree with and I have to say about every single thing that you just said. Yes, absolutely to all of that is like a tragedy that everyone has to feel alone. And in fact, that's like now, I believe in me, and I have now I'm playing to win as compared to playing not to lose. There's a big difference. And I, invite your viewers live and those watching the repeats, replays, you can stream this, etc. Like look inside, like, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Like, because there's a big difference. Like, I feel it. Like, I have no problem saying on here, like, watch, before the end of this year, I'm going to have, like photos and videos with President Trump and Elon Musk, them showing off like that they've got an Ori. Like, they're going to be bragging about it. So we go, like, I'm like, yeah, these and a couple more billionaires hanging out with. They're all right, cool jets.
Yeah.
Whatever. That catering was nice. Nah, like, but I got the new Cybertruck now. I kind of thinking of like getting a Cybertruck, wrapping it in like Ori art, and just go around the country, like podcasting, camping out at parks, and like surprising people with art around the country. But like, I now have like, I know which books I'm putting out. Like, I invented a new art form. Like, I didn't even realize it. Like, oops, it just can't. But it's amazing. So now I'm okay with, like, yeah, I'm gonna get in everyone's face. How do you know, John? How do you know when a pepper has an attitude?
When it's spicy?
No, it gets jalapeno face. Jalapeno.
I love that. Yeah, I could totally see you getting a Tesla. They actually have those the camping
Camper extension
things, right? So you can
I knew it for years ago. Of course, yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. I mean, wait, yeah, I don't think you'd keep me as a friend if I got the Tesla Cybertruck and I didn't get that thing.
Yeah, that would be sacrilegious, I guess. But yeah, I mean,
I'm calling my new religion origami.
Origami, I love it.
Yes, everyone has to wear folded paper hats. No, I'm kidding.
I think I would love to see you on tour. I'd actually love to go on tour, drive around overlanding. So, like, I was traveling around last year and, doing meetups around the country, and getting people together, awesome people together. And I think that'd be super, super cool.
Collaboration, dude. Because I was already thinking about, like, all right, like, like sign paintings, limited edition prints, or, like do cool, like, I don't want to give too much away, but I got a plan. I know, like, it's pretty outrageous and fun. But now, why not tie in like adventure weekends with Ori? Like, each room's jump bungee and, everything else that everyone's going to like lose their license insurance waiver on. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, whitewater. I've gone kayak shrooms. Yeah, I've done a lot of shrooms. But look, even my shirt's got shrooms. Shroom cat.
I got to send. Did I send you the video of the Costa Rica thing we did recently?
No.
I gotta send it to
You
you.
just sent me the invitation, which is like click on this, and I'm filling it out without even knowing what I'm filling out, and it's asking me all these crazy questions, and I'm answering them authentically. So it's like, I can't remember what I said. I can't remember what the questions were, but I remember I gave funny answers, but they're honest.
It was an awesome answers and application, and I
Oh, it
love
was a thing.
it was there were so many there were so many challenges uh, in a good way. We so we had 15 people. We had a whole bunch of different logistics. A good friend that I teamed up with lost his passport, and he had to fly all over the country to see if he can get down there. So he was 2 or 3 days late. Turns out that the actual passport was in his book in his backpack, and he came down there. He got down there and it fell out. Uh, we did we took people out in on the ocean blindfolded, had them swim on 250 yards to shore. We had them jump off a 30-foot waterfall, which was super cool, and we did whitewater rafting. We did a ceremony of life where I had them write their own obituaries and death letters, and we did a little celebration at sunset, and we recorded the whole thing, and we did a little scavenger hunt, and we rewarded each person with a mask based on how they showed up. So, courage and bravery or strength or leadership, and it was cool. So we got to do that, and it was interesting. We had a few Beast Game members that got it pretty far. One guy actually was in the top 3 and won like $1 million. So it's cool hearing his story and his life change and being there to, give him a little bit of an experience on what's the rest of your life going to look like, which was super cool. But I think we were missing an Ori there for sure. So we gotta get down and record our next one when we go somewhere.
Well, now you'll have this episode to show them that, I'm not just some regular artist with his art on the moon and, super crazy stories and, bold personality. I'm the real deal. I was on your podcast, so I gotta be accredited.
Absolutely. Well, you're yeah. I mean, I've interviewed some really amazing people, like Navy SEALs, amazing artists. So I'm really over the next few years, I want to be interviewing all those underground warriors that maybe haven't hit the big spotlight yet, or maybe some people that have and have these stories of overcoming challenges over the period of time that nobody really hears about. Like you hear about everybody when they're famous a lot of times, but not oftentimes do you go deep into the backstory of it and all the different challenges that people have overcome.
And
me
personally, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but it is a journey, not the destination. Like it's all these struggles that are like, yeah, sure. While I was going through it all until I got to I've reached a critical mass. Now I'm unstoppable. Now I'm extremely irritating, and you're about to see me get all up in everyone's Kool-Aid. But, now I'm bold enough and brash enough. And yeah, like when you wake up in a dream and you're in a stadium full of people and you realize you're naked, forgot your pants, and you realize it's not actually a dream, and you're like, yeah, that's okay. I guess I'll sing. Oh, I can't sing. That's okay too. I'll bomb it. This is gonna be great. This is gonna go pretty viral. Probably. Yeah, I just need to remember some of my affiliate links real fast so I can, like make the best of it. When life throws you gators, make Gatorade.
Yeah.
And so yeah, now, but dude, first of all, I gotta say, since we're approaching time, I wouldn't want to run out of time before saying this. I'm so proud of you, dude. Watching you, like you're still doing these adventures. You're changing people's lives with these adventures. And what you said, by the way, like, yeah, I definitely let's circle back to that one and let's plan what might, and like a road trip, like tour, like merging art, about to launch a graphic novel, the podcast. Like, do I come meet the, whatever? And, if you want to meet Ori, you just have to get through that obstacle course.
That's right.
Watch out for the electric eels with the strap on. Yeah. So,
Oh man, that would be the funniest thing to. I mean, we talked about doing like a show, like some sort of traveling show or something like that, where we record these things.
two shows traveling concurrently, and a third show with the two of us. We overlap. Like, I think, dude. Let's do like a 3-month tour of it. Like.
Well, I got the team. I got the team, man. I got the guys. Some guys from Discovery Channel and Red Bull and other people. Yeah. So,
dude, I mean, I can definitely bring some. Oh my gosh, this ties right in the new tech that I was telling you I'm about to like partner up with. This would everything's symbiotic with me. That's the thing. I'm exponential. I don't know if you ever read the book Mastery by Robert Greene, but it's kind of talks about how these guys, Da Vinci, Darwin, Michelangelo, they weren't particularly interesting when they were like little kids. You wouldn't have known, like, oh, that's the guy that's going to change history. He's such a genius. It's always the quiet ones. Or no, I mean, it was just they're boring. Like their parents, like Darwin's dad was like, oh my God, this kid's useless. All he does is want to draw bugs. Like he was about to like ship him off to the clergy, and then he got the opportunity to go like draw bugs for the captain of the SS Beagle as they, went around whatever. And eventually came up with, the theory of evolution. But the book was about that these guys weren't special when they started. But if you take them and a bunch of others and you analyze their lives, you realize it's actually a formula, a recipe. They all did the same thing. And you too can do it too. It's basically like, don't focus on the money or the fame. Like, go and chase the skills and learn like in multiple areas. And then you can combine those different areas, and that's how you get new perspectives. And, he talks about there's like a 10-year apprenticeship area, like Da Vinci worked under such and such guy's name, something Italian sounding, and Michelangelo and so on. Darwin didn't work under such and such, but like after he got back from the Galapagos and was like, I don't get it. This one's different, but it's the same thing. He pondered it for a full 10 years, 12 years. So it's the same thing. It's still the apprenticeship arena. And well, I did a multiplier of that, what they've done, because they didn't have digital technology and they sleep. Like I was taking stimulants, and like even without stimulants, they stay up for 72 hours at a time, oftentimes. I was a nerd, man. I just wanted to make cool pictures, I had no clue where it would lead. Like it was more instinct than like, well, my 5-year plan, I'm going to just stay awake and, pirate. I was torrenting before we were torrenting, it was like, it didn't matter what I could afford. Like all my money went towards the hardware. I was actually part of software piracy ring, like international, true organized crime. They're still around. It's hard to keep my mouth shut. They were like, I don't want to get you in trouble. But yeah, back then, like, but that's how people would learn, right? You get a crack copy of the thing, you download now you can get a job with it, and they got to buy the real license thing. I pay for my Adobe now. Thank you, Adobe. Sorry, Adobe. I love you. Everyone should get Adobe products. I mean, they're awesome. But it's been a journey, and like now, and it's digital. Those suckers, they had to like grind their own minerals to make their paints and stuff. I got digital, dude. I got infinite stuff. I can iterate instantly. They didn't have large language model AIs, and they didn't have generative AI, and they didn't have 3D, and they didn't have computers, and they didn't have all the world's knowledge. Plus, we've got much better knowledge. It is an exponential of Da Vinci. So this is gonna be a fun year, man, because now the world's gonna find out. But I announced it here, broke it here. Everyone's gonna be talking about your podcast. Your server's gonna crash.
Hell yeah! And we'll be looking back in this next year. We'll look at this podcast and we'll smile with where we've come, where we're going, and what the future is. So Ori, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. Honor to be connected, be your friend, shared life's journey together, and I am sending good vibes. Good thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I hang up, there's a thing I forgot to say. First of all, thank you for believing me before I did, and thank you, by the way. So this is how often you actually get to hear from someone like, oh, I saw that person, and I'm like, someday I'm gonna connect with them. Like we're an honor, like that, like because I was just bumbling around like bull in a china shop, and so it's nice to see that we make an impact, and and obviously, oh, I mean, you know what to say. Don't meet your heroes, bro. No, I know. Sorry, it's been such a letdown. Nah, this is fun, man, and thanks for uplifting me all the way, because I said before to the show, why don't people record the pre-show stuff?
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely do another
because one. But it's because of great friends that believed in me more than I did, and before I did, that lifted me up, that I was actually able to get to the point where I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm all right.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, man.
We'll keep you around for a little while longer.
Exactly. I'm not going to jump off that bridge now. I mean, unless with a bungee, because it's an adventure.
Well, I love you, man.
Love you. Love you, audience. Streaming at home.